G'day guys, welcome back. Here's another video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and definitely subscribe. It costs you nothing, helps out my channel. We're getting to the nitty gritty end of the AFL season, and I wanted to have a look at the predictor with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds left. And I just did a video on the tips for this round 18. And it could be a very interesting round if I get my tips up. We could have 6 teams on top of the ladder, which is unheard of. But we'll just go through and have a look at a couple of scenarios that I can see playing out in the next couple of weeks. And they all pretty much revolve around Port. Port can really do a lot of devastation to see the top 8. So we'll start with Collingwood. I don't think Collingwood can miss the finals unless a couple of other games go against them. Even with 5 losses out of their last 6 games, they still make the 8, which is interesting for them, and it just shows you how important that win over North Melbourne was. But we'll get back to Collingwood, but I just want to have a little look at the Suns first. So this week they've got Essendon. They should win that one, and probably their most important game is against the Lions. Now the Lions aren't travelling very well at the moment. They're my team, but it's a Q clash. It is at the Gabba, so it's tougher for the Suns. I think the Suns have only won 2 in the last 11 or something like that, but odds are, the way that they're playing, the way that we're playing, let's say that they can win that game, and then they've got a pretty easy draw after that. They've got the West Coast Eagles, then they have Hawks, which they should win, even though it's down in Tasmania, which will be a tough game, but they have to win these games to get into the 8. They can't beat Geelong, I don't think. Okay, so if they win their games, that will put them equal with Richmond, if all the other teams just win the way that they should, okay, and only on percentage. So if they can pick up those games, okay, so only lose to the Cats, and if they can win 5 out of their next 6, which is quite possible the way that they're playing, they will be looking at a percentage to Richmond. Now, let's go back to round 18. Now, the reason why I say Port can be a disruptor, okay, so where are they here? Okay, so can they beat Melbourne? No. Well, they can. It's in Alice Springs, so maybe it's not going to affect anything. Melbourne are still going to be in the top 4. But this is where it can get really interesting. No, not with the Cats. Cats doesn't affect anything. But if we get to round 20, okay, we've got Port versus Collingwood. So if we put Port in there, if Port can beat Collingwood at the MCG, which I think they can, I think Port are a better team than Collingwood, that will put Collingwood out of the 8. Okay, so there's one game that they can change the finals, take Collingwood out and put Gold Coast in. But let's say Collingwood win that, then they're safe. So this is a must win for Collingwood against Port at the MCG, and I don't know what you guys think about it, but I know that at the end of a season, teams that can't make it can be very disruptive. They've got nothing to lose, so they just go out and play the way they want to play. Okay, now I've got here Richmond losing to the Lions. That's no settled anything, but let's just pick the lowest team against the higher team, and then Port play Richmond. So Port can also beat Richmond. Okay, it's at Adelaide Oval, which is no easy give me for Richmond. Collingwood stay in, and then the Richmond go out, and the Suns are again clear. Remember that the Suns have to beat the Lions for this, but if they don't, let's go back around. If those things happen, and we've got the Suns against the Lions. Okay, so even if they lose to the Lions, the Suns will be on the same points as Richmond, St Kilda and the Suns. But let's say the Suns can beat the Lions. That puts them one game in the 8. And then we've got another one by Port. So Port to beat Richmond. And Port will beat Essendon. Port will beat Adelaide. And there will be your final 8. Okay. So, as I said about 4 weeks ago, I still think the Suns just flop in to the 8 at the end of, in the last round. And from this week, if my tips get up, you could have a possibility of Collingwood being equal first to, if Port can win 2 games, to miss the 8. That's how close this whole season is. Let's have a quick look at St Kilda, okay, because they could quite easily make the 8 too if they can get on a roll. So we'll go to round 18. Okay, so I've got them winning this one. They should beat the Bulldogs. They should beat West Coast. Hawks. Geelong, they can't beat Geelong. Lions, can they beat us? If they could beat us, let's see what happens if they beat us. Okay, that puts them on the same points as the Suns. I don't think they can, but anyway, can they make it? Where are they? Okay, Sydney. Okay, and that's the last round. So Saints have to pick up one game that they shouldn't win. But you can see that just a couple of games from Port Adelaide could really shake up the whole top 8, where Richmond will lose, Suns go in, Collingwood could go out, but I've also, Collingwood keep playing with the form, they could end up in 4th, the Lions could drop to 7th, something like that. But yeah, just watch those couple of games for Port against Richmond, because Port are a better team than what people say. Port at home against Richmond in round 18 is a must watch, and also Port against Collingwood. So Port can beat Collingwood. Okay, that puts Suns into 7th. And what about if Richmond beat? Okay, Port don't beat Richmond, that puts Collingwood out. So those 2 rounds, okay, 20 and 21, could put Collingwood out of the 8. Suns are in, but again, Suns have to beat the Lions. So, like I said, it's quite possible the way the Suns are playing. If they don't beat the Lions, they're out. Alright, so hopefully we'll get a bit of a better idea about what happens in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, it could be really important for the Suns to have that goal kicked after the siren this week. And if they had won the 2 games before this, they got beat by a kick, well, they would definitely be in the 8 at the moment, and Collingwood wouldn't be in the 8. But anyway, let's see what happens. Hope you liked the video. It's only a quick one, and we'll see you later.